Hi, this is Reg Athwal. I am the Family Business Messenger. Welcome back to our channel and the Family Business channel. Recently, I went on Clubhouse. Are you on Clubhouse right now? If you are, definitely follow me at Reg Athwal. Find me on Clubhouse. Details are also in the description. I'd love to connect with you there. What an interesting place. As a result of going on to probably 8 or 9 different rooms and being on stage, talking about family business areas, connecting with someone in the US recently as well, Kirsten, who runs Family Business Leaders Club on Clubhouse. We collaborated, and now we've launched Family Business Academy, the weekly Legacy forum on Clubhouse. So I hope you can join us. At the moment, we're still experimenting, fine-tuning it, but it's on every Saturday at 6 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. So that's sort of Dubai time, and then you can check in your local time zone. But the purpose of this video today is not only just give you an update on Clubhouse, and hopefully you can join us there, but I'm going to see how I can link the two at some stage. I believe there's an opportunity here where not only can we be on audio only in Clubhouse with all these different people listening and people being on stage, I think there's also potential of having it recorded or even doing a live YouTube live possibly, or maybe even a LinkedIn live in future where we can end up with some sort of integration across platforms, which I'm really excited about. Because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to be on one platform, even though Clubhouse is going through the roof right now, and more massive personalities are joining rooms on there every day. But recently, I kicked off with one session on Clubhouse. It was on legacy building, and I made a whole bunch of notes for that particular discussion that we had, and it was a good experiment, inviting a few people into the room, talking about legacy, but in two different areas. One was a first-generation entrepreneur who's setting up, who is inspired, motivated by building a legacy, and what do they need to put in place, versus a family business that's already established and is thinking about their legacy continuity, making sure that that family business carries on for 100+ years. And maybe right now they're at second or third generation. So with the research I've done over many years, the last 20 years, thinking about case studies, I started to make some notes, and I'm just going to share some of my raw notes here, if that's okay, and share some of these things with you, which is the first thing I wrote down was, why do it? Why build a legacy? And I think, when you start thinking that way of why build a legacy, it goes beyond the product or service that you're going to be offering customers. There's case studies around the world with small, medium-sized family businesses run by a husband and wife team that has been passed down to the children and their children, 3-generation family businesses, some 4th generation, running a very, very small restaurant, a small hotel, a bit like the Hushi family in Japan, which are heading to 48th generation. So what is it about them? What's that glue, as I call it? What's the family code, the family DNA linked to legacy that's allowed them to continue for one generation to the next? And I think it goes beyond, you just happen to be in the hospitality industry, you just happen to be in the F&B or restaurant business. I think it's more than that. I think it's special. I think it's driven by a deep down purpose beyond money. Okay, now some of these family businesses, when they started, they didn't have any money. They just started the business. They wanted to make money to provide for their family and provide them with security. I get that, and that's okay. That's a goal. That's an objective. And then as they started growing that business and wealth started to come in, they not only had family security, but their lifestyle expanded, and then they focused on running a family business that managed their family's lifestyle. Whether that's in the context of a family business that's doing $1 million a year and making a decent profit out of that, that supports the family, which could be the same as all the family members being in high paid professional jobs. At the end of the day, from a financial point of view, the return there will be pretty much the same. However, they've got freedom. They've got freedom. They wake up every day with a purpose, that this is ours. This is our business. We're building this family. We're working together as family members in this business every day. For me, that's special. Now, of course, it comes with challenges, conflicts, personality issues, which I'm not going to talk about in this episode today. And there's many other videos on our channel where we discuss those things, especially the underlying emotional blockages that come up in family businesses. But going back to the example of that husband and wife who started the business, their children became part of that business automatically. It wasn't about, what do you want to become? What do you want to do? Do you want to go and build your own business? What profession do you want to go down on? No. In the restaurant, those young kids were helping out in the kitchen from a young age. They were in the kitchen. One of them started serving in the restaurant from a very young age. And all the customers that would be coming to that restaurant within that community every day or every week or once or twice a month, they came back over and over again. For what reason? For what reason? It can't be just the food, okay? Because I've been into restaurants, family businesses that own restaurants, and the family members are there. And it's not all about the food. I've been to other restaurants with much better food than they're serving on that plate. But the way that they would speak to you, the way that they would introduce you to the other family members, the way that one day you'll meet their son or their daughter who's also serving you, and them going out of their way to find out about you and who you are. For me, that's the glue, that's the code. Now, you could call it relationships, but I think it's beyond that. It's a family business dynamic with relationships that makes this special. And then eventually, because of that pride that this is ours, we're part of this, and the third generation come along, they also end up becoming part of that. And I think this is how a lot of these families have managed to build legacies around the world. And a lot of them have done the hard work by influence. And I'll do another video on this. And I've just published an article on this to our private family business academy members on our group there about parenting and creating a parenting legacy. Because there's two things. It's also about being great role models for the next generation, and make sure there's great family values of appreciation and harmony and love within the family, great communication. I think by working in that restaurant as an example for you today, you're communicating as well with each other every day. And there's a lot of families I come across where when they're sabotaging their family business, they're not communicating every day. Yeah, it's not rocket science here. There's no secret sauce. Communication is key. And I think these small, medium-sized businesses end up creating that. So hopefully there's a few things for you to consider, but now let's link it to purpose. For me, the purpose part is something, again, deep. With my story, if you've watched the other videos on the channel, I talk about my grandfather. I talk about him sowing seeds into my mind from a very young age when I used to go to India with my parents and my younger sister every year from the UK. And he would be sowing seeds, showing us the acreage, hectares of land at that time, and sharing his vision and saying, one day you'll be looking after all of this, being the eldest male bloodline descendant of the third generation. And it wasn't meant to be, because the second generation ruined it all and went into war over the assets when my grandfather unfortunately passed away. And that's another story. But that had an impact on me. I think that seeing that sabotage, seeing it being broken up, knowing that that legacy was not going to continue to the third generation with the way it was built from the first generation, definitely had an impact on me. And as a result of that, moving into the psychology area, HR, human capital management, executive recruitment, all these things that I got involved in my early entrepreneurial career must have happened for a reason. I mean, to be drawn to personal development and HR and these areas must have happened for a reason, because of what happened to me as a young boy and the impact on what family was about, what family business was about, and how you can ruin a legacy. So when I came across my first family business and I had a chance to work with this client, I felt like I'd arrived. I felt I came home. It was an enlightening experience that week where I thought, wow, yeah, if this family doesn't sort this out, they're going to ruin this. And I know because I've seen it happen. And it was almost a decision that week, almost 20 years ago, I thought, this is what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. I want to spend the rest of my life serving family businesses and building legacies. Businesses, family businesses that build a legacy that is here long after we've all left this planet. For me, that's special. That turns me on more than building something today and selling it in 2 years' time, or building this great inflated unicorn and floating it on the stock exchange, and suddenly you've got all this money, thinking, now what do I do next? For me, this purpose, lifelong purpose, is so powerful. Make sure that you leave some comments if I'm resonating with you, if you're getting and feeling what I'm saying right now. So other things I had here was, find out your purpose. The rest is all built around philosophy. What is your family business philosophy? I think that's all you've really got. You've got purpose. You've got some guiding principles and values that you're hanging on to as a family, which become your family codes. And you've got some type of philosophy that's linked to something great for the long term. You're seeing a vision that will go beyond 100 years. You're thinking about future generations. So these would be some of the things, I wanted to leave you with today when you're thinking about your legacy. I've got here in my notes a thing. Family legacy is a thing that carries on long after we've left this planet and our lifetime. Philosophy, values, a family code, a family glue, something special. It's linked to a vision and a purpose. And these would be some of the things to consider. In our group company, RTS Global Partners, we have a strapline. I love straplines for some reason. I'm addicted to straplines, but our strapline is one family, one legacy for our group company, RTS Global Partners, which gets involved in advisory services with family businesses around the world. So for me, one family, one legacy, that strapline was to capture the purpose. We are one family. Our business is a family business, and we have family members involved in my business. Other family members are running businesses, and I support them as a board director. That's how we built our structure. So, going to the situation of straplines, one family, one legacy, one family is us, but also we're helping one family at a time. Yeah, of course, we've got a massive vision to impact 100 million families around the world. That is the long-term vision that I've set for the company, but one family at a time. And with that one family, it's one legacy. We help them create their legacy. If we can help one family create their legacy, we support our one family, and we also create our legacy. And there's a lot of other things behind that strapline, which I can't share in this video today, but it inspires us. It gets me out of bed every morning to go, where can I serve today? Our existing clients, what new family can I support today? What's yours? I hope you're thinking about some of the questions of what's your philosophy? What's your secret sauce family glue? What brings you together? What could be that thing that I'm talking about? What are some of your family codes, family values? What's your strapline? And if that strapline can encapsulate your purpose, wow, it becomes very clear for everybody else around you. It doesn't matter how much money comes in. It doesn't matter what problems show up. Are we on purpose? And then consistently focus on that every single day, and you watch everything else come into play. Prosperity, wealth, all the other great things will come as a result. So going back to that restaurant example, that restaurant created uniqueness. And there's a real case study on this with a Jewish restaurant in California, which I was reading up about, where they've been around for over 100 years. And the reason why is because of the relationships, but also their restaurant serves a niche part of a community, okay, of their Jewish community. And people come to that restaurant not just because of the food and the tea and the coffee and everything else they're serving. They come there because they're part of a community. And I want to finish on that today, which is, I think, 2021, when this video has been created here in February 2021 and beyond. You could be watching this, I hope, and it's now 2025 or 2030, and you're watching this video. Well, here in 2021, I can tell you right now, it's all about communities. There's so much noise out there. There's so much going on out there in social media and marketing and other things. And I think you've got to go to the core of knowing what your family DNA is, what you stand for, your philosophy, what you're offering, and pick a lane, pick a niche area with your product, service, and offering where you can serve that community. Build your community. Can't serve everybody, but if you could build that community with your family DNA, I'm telling you now, your legacy is going to continue from one generation to the next. And if you can inspire that next generation with that purpose to also join you and become part of that, you're going to be here for the next 100 years. So on that note, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do subscribe to our channel. We drop on average now, we took a break before, but on average one video a week, even though last year we did 138 episodes in 2020. And we'll continue to create good content. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn as well. And recently we're now on Clubhouse, and you can search for me and find me on there, and you can be kept up to date. And hopefully I'll see you on one of our stages. Come and contribute, share your story. So on that note, I want to thank you very much, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.